Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to derive the formula of the quadratic equation, which is x equals to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac by 2a. So let's start with what is a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is an equation which is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Here, our a, b, and c are constants, which means when you are solving questions, you'll find numbers instead of a, b, c's, okay? For example, let's say we have an equation like 5x squared plus 6x plus 3 equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation because we have 5, 6, and 3 in the place of a, b, c, and we have our x squared and x over here. So whenever you find equations like these are called quadratic equations. The most important thing that you need to know is in a quadratic equation, the highest power of your variable, which in this case is x, needs to be 2. Now this formula right over here is used to find the values of x of any quadratic equation. So we could find the values of x of this particular equation. Okay, we can find the value of x by using this formula. We are going to discuss about this in our next video. In this particular video, we'll be discussing on how can we derive this formula from a standard quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So we are going to derive this formula from this standard quadratic equation. Let's see how. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this a from this x squared. How? Let's see, okay? So we have our ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides of this equation by a. So dividing both sides of this equation by a, we get ax squared by a plus bx by a plus c by a equals to 0, because 0 by a is 0. What I did over here is I just biparted this fraction. I just distributed that denominator a to all the numerators. Now we can easily cut these two a's and our a disappears, and we get x squared plus bx by a plus c by a equals to 0. Now I'm going to try to change this equation into a plus b whole square. And we know that the formula of a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now we do have something of the sort a square, okay, which is our x square. Let's just write our x square over here plus. Now what we need is 2ab, and if you look here, we already have our a. See, our a is x, we have our a square, and for our 2ab we also need a, right? So our a is there. Let's write that a first, and we have our b by a over here. Now I also need that 2. For that reason, I'm going to put a 2 over here as well as here, so that when we cancel these two 2's, we get bx by a. And this entire thing is going to be our b, okay? So we get our 2ab. Now to complete our formula, I still need plus b square, right? So let's put our plus b square. This highlighted region is our b, so we need b by 2a whole square. And I can't just put b by 2a whole square out of nowhere, so I'm also going to put minus b by 2a whole square. Again, I can do this because they cancel out, and we still have our c by a over here, okay? Let's not forget that one, equals to 0. And we have our formula of a plus b whole square. We have our a square plus 2ab plus b square. We can write that as x plus b by 2a whole square. Minus, we have our b by 2a whole square, which is going to be b square by 4a square. 2a whole square is 4a square. Plus, we have our c by a over here equals to 0. Now we are going to try to isolate our x, okay? So we have our x plus b by 2a over here, whole square, equals to, I'm moving all these things to the other side. So we have our minus b square by 4a square become plus b square by 4a square. And we move that to our right side. Similarly, our plus c by a becomes minus c by a. Now we're just going to copy our left side, equals to, in our right side, we are going to subtract these two fractions. For that, we need a common denominator. And the LCM of 4a square and a is 4a square. So this is already 4a square. We need to make this 4a square. To make this 4a square, we are going to multiply this with 4a. And we also need to multiply the numerator with 4a. And this gives us 4ac divided by 4a square. So I just changed our c by a into 4ac divided by 4a square. And now that they have the common denominator, we can subtract them and we get b square minus 4ac divided by 4a square. And now we are going to try to remove that square from here. So we have x plus b by 2a equals to, whenever we remove that square, we need to put a square root over here. And we need to put the plus minus symbol in front, okay? So we have b square minus 4ac divided by 4a square. And finally, our x is starting to get alone, okay? So we have our x. I'm going to move that plus b by a to the other side. It becomes minus b by 2a. We have our plus minus, right? And then from this square root, I'm going to take out this 4a square, okay? So we have our square root b square minus 4ac over here divided by 4a square is the whole square of 2a. So if we do 2a whole square, we get 4a square. And so we can take out the 2a from the square root and we have our 2a over here. And now we can write this as, so we have our x here equals to, so we have common denominator 2a over here. So we can add and subtract these numerators and we get minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac by 2a. And that right there is our formula of the quadratic equation. And just like that, we have derived our formula of the quadratic equation, which is x equals to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now we can use this formula to solve any quadratic equations, and we will be solving some quadratic equations by using this formula in our next video. I hope to see you there. If you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for future maths videos. Thank you.